The opportunity facing Manchester United tonight is as clear as it is fraught with psychological peril. Recent results elsewhere in the league have conspired to present a genuine chance to climb the table, potentially as high as 5th and even level on points with Chelsea. The mathematical possibility of reaching 4th, however improbable, exists. Yet, this very scenario triggers a familiar anxiety. This squad has developed an unfortunate habit of faltering precisely when the gateway to Champions League qualification swings ajar. The pressure of expectation, the weight of the occasion, seems to induce a collective stumble. It's a mental hurdle as much as a footballing one. Tonight, the requirement is simple: secure 3 points. Performance aesthetics can be debated later. The raw result is the only currency that matters in this congested section of the table. When rivals drop points, United must capitalise. Failure to do so is a recurring self-inflicted wound. Self-inflicted wound. On the injury front, the pre-match picture contained its share of cryptic signals. Initial murmurs suggested 2 potential late fitness tests, with the names Bruno Fernandes and Zerge circulating as doubts. The prospect of losing Fernandes, fresh from a man-of-the-match performance, would have been a severe blow. However, subsequent reporting indicates the Portuguese midfielder is set to be in the squad after participating in training. His availability is non-negotiable for the team's creative function. Pretty much. The concern now shifts to the other unnamed player, widely speculated to be Zerge. For a player who has only just returned to the fold, the potential of another immediate setback would be cruel and damaging, both for the individual and the squad's depth. Fortunately, the return of Kuna provides an alternative option up front, with the possibility of Mason Mount or even Kobbie Mainoo operating in the advanced midfield role if required. The situation underscores the fragile nature of the squad's fitness. In more positive injury news, the trajectory for Benjamin Sesko appears steady. The latest updates suggest a targeted return for the Bournemouth fixture, with the issue consistently described as minor and not escalating in severity. This timeline is significant, as it would bring a key defender back into contention just as the squad prepares to lose other personnel to international duty. Having Sesko available to mitigate the impending absence of players departing for the Africa Cup of Nations is a crucial piece of planning. His steady progress is a rare piece of uncomplicated good news on the medical front. Turning to the transfer sphere, a curious story emerged regarding Greek teenager Christos Mousakis. Reports from his homeland claimed Manchester United had tabled an offer in the region of Euros 28 million, only to be rebuffed by Olympiacos, who are holding out for a fee closer to Euros 35 million. The narrative included the detail that the club would not even entertain negotiations unless bids exceeded a certain threshold. While the player is undoubtedly an exciting, technically gifted prospect, the story lacks credibility when cross-referenced with the established network of club-connected journalists. No correspondence with proven links to United's transfer activity have echoed this claim. This has all the hallmarks of an agent-driven tactic, perhaps designed to flush out serious interest from other suitors like Real Madrid, or simply to inflate the player's valuation. Spending such a sum on an 18-year-old with no experience in a major league seems an unlikely divergence from a more cautious recruitment strategy. That money could be redirected towards more proven, immediate solutions. This leads directly to the complex and unresolved saga surrounding Kobbie Mainoo. So, his situation is a tangled web of competing interests and potential pitfalls. The manager has been unequivocal, consistently selecting the players he believes give the team the best chance to win, with Mainoo finding himself outside that core group. The club's stated preference is for him to stay, primarily to maintain squad depth and quality in training. However, for a player of his age and potential, development through regular football is paramount. The ball is paramount. The dilemma for United is fraught with risk. A loan move that goes poorly could diminish his market value ahead of a potential permanent sale. Conversely, a loan where he excels would immediately spotlight the decision to sideline him, creating an unwelcome narrative. There is also the lingering possibility of a permanent offer in January, which would add another layer of complexity. The club's affection for academy graduates complicates the calculus, but the reality of his contract situation and his need for minutes creates a pressing issue. Ideally, he stays, develops internally, and steps up when older heads depart. But his career clock is ticking loudly. The midfield conversation cannot be limited to Mainu. The future of Emmanuel Ugarte appears equally, if not more, uncertain. Reports suggest his position at the club is bleak, with an exit in either January or the summer a genuine possibility. He finds himself in a similar purgatory to Mainu, unused and seemingly unfancied by the management. An intriguing possibility emerges from this. What if the club's planning involves moving Ugarte on permanently to generate funds and squad space, rather than Mainu? Out of the two, the academy product likely holds greater long-term value and fan sentiment. Selling Ugarte could finance the acquisition of a more immediate physical presence in midfield while retaining Mainu as a developing asset. This feels like a more plausible and strategic course of action than the convoluted Mainu loan dilemma. This brings us to potential incoming solutions. The name, Conor Gallagher, continues to surface with stubborn persistence. The narrative remains consistent. United explored a loan late in the summer, but Atletico Madrid were unwilling to sanction a temporary departure. The Spanish club's position is reportedly unchanged. They will only consider a permanent sale for a fee around £26, 30 million. United's interest seems to be one of opportunistic pragmatism rather than top target fervour. He is a profile they appreciate. Energetic, Premier League proven and capable of adding much needed athleticism and pressing intensity to the midfield. If the club were to secure a permanent fee for Ugarte, redirecting those funds towards a permanent move for Gallagher starts to form a coherent, if unspectacular, transactional logic. He is not a marquee name, but he addresses a specific and glaring need in the squad's profile. In stark contrast to the Gallagher links, a far more sensational story emerged from Spain, claiming United had lodged a £70 million bid for Real Madrid's Federico Valverde. This can be dismissed with near total The source is questionable, and the notion that such a seismic offer for a cornerstone of the European champions would not be front-page news across every major football publication is absurd. It is pure fabrication, likely designed for engagement. Thought design. The club's appreciation for a player of Valverde's caliber is understandable. His work rate, leadership, and transitional prowess are exactly what the midfield lacks. But a January move of this magnitude is fantasy. Finally, the future of the club's most exciting youth prospect, JJ Gabriel, has become a topic of mischievous speculation. Stories linking the 15-year-old sensation with Barcelona and other European giants are inevitable given his phenomenal performances at youth level. However, the reality is more measured. The club is actively working to integrate him into a long-term vision, convincing him his future lies at Old Trafford. Crucially, due to his age and the timing of his registration, he cannot feature in the Premier League this season, though the FA Cup may present an earlier opportunity. Furthermore, the point is rendered somewhat moot by the fact he recently signed a scholarship, meaning he cannot move abroad until 2027 at the earliest. The recent flurry of headlines is largely clickbait, leveraging the natural fear of losing a generational talent. The real work is happening behind the scenes to ensure that when he is eligible for a professional contract, he sees his pathway clearly at Manchester United. Losing him would be a monumental failure, a symbol of a broken project, which is precisely why the current focus is on laying the groundwork to keep him.